Good afternoon, everyone. This is your boy Bagley232, Coach232 on Instagram. Just get finished with my daily training and my personal workout. Decided to come home and drop a video for you guys. First things first, before I get started, I just want to give a shout out to Dr. BOA. Recently heard that he lost his father, so I just want to offer my heartfelt sympathies to him and his family. And keep your head up, bro. You're a strong brother, man, and we appreciate what you do for us brothers here in the manosphere. Today, this week has been a very, very busy week for me. Most of you know I train people. I do personal training, basketball training, et cetera, and my cup has been full, and that's what I like to do. I wouldn't have it any other way on that end, and it's been also a productive week. And this week I was afforded the luxury or opportunity, however you want to phrase that, to become part of a brotherhood, the hashtag MOTU brotherhood. We have a lot of strong brothers in there, man, that's really on their purpose and on their man shit, man. And it's just been being a part of that group, man. I've learned so much in the 3 or 4 days I've been a part of the group. And it's always good when men get together, because see, when men get together, shit happens. When men get together, we make our presence felt. When men get together for one common purpose, people know that we in the place. And I think it's time for us, especially as black men, to erase that stereotype, to erase that thought, because to a degree I think we've been marginalized, and that started way back when I was born in the late 60s, and it's time to take our rightful place, as the leaders of our communities, our homes, et cetera, et cetera. So I've been real pleased to become a part of this particular brotherhood, because that's something I never had growing up, even when I became a man, I never was part of a real strong fraternity of men. So I feel honored to be a part of that. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to put in my description the channels of all these brothers, and y'all go sub to them. Y'all go sub to them. They got not only a lot of great information, but like I always say, they got a lot of stuff that's tangible that you can use and apply in your life, and it can make your walk as a man much, much smoother. So I'm going to leave a link in the description to all these channels, and make sure y'all go sub to these brothers. The gist of my video today, I want to talk about, I share my experience. I became red pilled about 17 months ago, and when I got in, when I got unplugged, so to speak, I was looking for instant results, or to a degree, instant gratification. I was looking for all the answers to all my bullshit, or whatever I was going through, or why I couldn't grow, why I couldn't move forward. I was looking for all my answers right then. So the gist of my video is, you cannot go from A to Z in a short period of time. And to take it a step further, you ought to learn how to enjoy that journey, because that's where the true joy really lies. It's within the journey. Just think about it. When you had your, for lack of a better word, being red pilled, and you had your very first triumph, your very first success, how high, how euphoric you were feeling at that time, and it fueled your hunger to get more results. It fueled your desire to work even that much harder, and then you'll get to a point, well, I know I did, like, man, I just can't get to I want to get to the end, where I could be the man that I want to be, where I can have the career I want, or my business is flourishing, I can have the woman I want, et cetera, et cetera. And it just don't work like that, guys. You have to take sometime baby steps with this thing. It's like something that I heard somebody say years ago: you can't get too good too soon. Let me repeat that. You can't get too good too soon. You have to give time. You know, I'm a believer in once you reach one spot to where you're trying to go, you immediately need to be trying to get to the next level of where you want to be. You know, and I found it to be true in my personal journey. You know, so the first thing that I had to do when I first became Red Pill, you know, I found that I had to get my body and my health right. That was my first, I'm not going to call it an obstacle, but that was my first order of business. You know, it wasn't about getting my body right to be attractive. Well, at first it was. Let me stop front. At first it was, you know, but after I really thought about it, it was to get me right. You know, because I'm a type 2 diabetic, you know, so I have a lot of risks, you know, that if I didn't get right, you know, I was putting my life at risk. You know, it could have ended my life a lot earlier. You know, I'm down over 50 pounds. I work out every day. You know, I took up running. You know, now I love to run. And, you know, and I realized that it's more for me than anybody else. You know, I'm starting to get proper rest at night. You know, I get about, you know, 6, 7 hours of sleep at night. You know, and things are good in that area. Second, I had to get my money right. You know, because once I became red pill, you know, and I looked at really took a real honest look at where I was at, man. I was a financial train wreck, man. A financial train wreck. You know, and I had a lot of work to do, man. I was deep in student loan debt because I recently went back to college. I graduated in 2014, and you know, I had all that, you know, student loan debt. You know, and I had to prioritize some things, man. I had to give up some shit, man. You know, I had to give up some luxuries that I had, man, in order to get that money and pay down some shit that I owed and get myself where I'm feeling comfortable to where I'm not no longer afraid when the phone rings or don't want to look at my mail when it gets put in the mail slot because I know it's nothing but bills, you know, and putting all that extra pressure on myself. So, you know, I had to get my money right, you know. Now I'm able to, you know, save money every month when I get paid. I get paid once a month. I'm able to save money, able to take care of my bills. You know, I'm getting my student loan debt paid down. You know, and I'm making a lot of sacrifices financially. You know, I can't go out and buy the fly clothes that I want. You know, and that's gonna have to be a sacrifice for now. You know, because getting my financial situation correct is a top priority for me. Third thing that I need to work on, you know, I want to be a high school varsity basketball coach, a head coach, you know, and I got to start putting time into getting my resume right for that, to working, you know, so I can have a career in that. You know, got some interviews, you know, just the timing ain't right, you know, but that's the career that I want. You know, I already teach and coach anyway, but you know, I want to do it on the high school level as a varsity head coach. You know, so I'm putting that time into, you know, cultivating that and getting that right. And when the right opportunity comes, I'll be able to jump right on it. You know, fifth, you know, next thing, you know, in my journey, you know, I had to learn how to interact with people. You know, I became kind of I ain't gonna, let's say, well, it is what it is. I became alone. I stayed at home a lot, you know, because one, I was ashamed of how fat I had got, you know, but two, you know, I really didn't feel confident around a whole lot of people. You know, what I do now, you know, I've joined some organizations, you know, I got on the zoning board commission here in my town, you know, I go to a lot of little business group mixers here in my town and in bigger cities that's near me, you know, and I just get out and meet people and talk to people, man, you know, to kind of decrease, you know, the anxiety I've had of being around people. You know, and I get my body right was a very, you know, instrumental part of that, you know, because I don't feel ashamed of how I look when I meet people. But, you know, I really need to get out and I really need to meet people, you know, both men and women. You know, in doing that, I've met some people that has been influential to me. You know, I've met some people, you know, who want to sow into what I'm trying to do, you know, and I'm very appreciative for that, you know, and staying on the journey. You know, I had to get my spirituality where I wanted it, man. Now I'm not a praying person. For me, I think praying is just going to a God, my understanding, with a laundry list of shit that I want for me. I began to meditate. I sit quietly in the morning before I, do my other stuff, maybe 10, 12 minutes. I had to start out at 1 minute and build up, and now, I can sit, I breathe, I get my mind clear, that way, you know, I can listen to or I can listen for the answer of what God, my understanding, wants me to do on a daily basis, and carry that out. And that's just me. You may not be, that's not, you might not be there, but that's where I'm at, and I meditate daily, man, and that has been, you wouldn't believe how calming that has been for me, and that calm demeanor carries throughout the day, nothing rattles me now, because I understand, how some shit just go. And some shit you got to just expect and see it coming. That way you can react accordingly. But I'm able to stay cool and calm. I don't blow up like I used to. And I found that, through therapy, I used to always blow up at other people because I really didn't like myself. So, I had to get my spirituality right. And let me tell you something. Being on this particular journey, it has been very, very joyful, man. You know, this is like, I've been in a zone, man, for like, 9, 10 months now. A zone that I never thought I would be in, man. And it's just been lovely, man. It's just been lovely. And being on my purpose to try to develop myself as a man and become a more well-rounded man. It's been great, man. And then we talk about, the women will come when you're on your purpose. That is true. I mean, trying to get women, that's not really a high priority for me right now. I meet women on the regular, man. Some I may kick it with, some I might not. But the biggest thing for me is, I take the sex element off the table, man. I take the sex element off the table, and I work from there, man. And yeah, the things things kind of grow in a certain go in a certain direction, and it usually ends up in my favor as far as what I may want from a woman, So it's just you have to understand it's all about being on your purpose first, and that's the phrase that we hear in the manosphere all the time. Stay on your purpose. Be on your purpose. Be on your purpose. Sometimes I'm not gonna say the phrase gets redundant, but there's a reason why it's always said, because that's the main thing we as men need to do. Because I know for me, the reason I got to where I got, the reason I got to how blue pills I had got, because I had forgot what my purpose was. I lost myself. Now that I've taken the red pill, I'm beginning to find myself again. And I really like, the direction that I'm going. So, remember, if you choose to live this lifestyle, men, you cannot go from A to Z overnight. Matter of fact, it's not overnight, it's over time. Don't force the tempo with this. Let shit come to you naturally. But just stay on your purpose and do your work. Because you gotta do your work. You gotta do your work, man. If you don't put in work, there's no way that your quality of life, being a red pill man, is gonna improve. You eventually gonna go back to being blue pill. And in some cases, we slip and fall. We have a blue pill moment. I had one about 3 months ago, dealing with a woman, and I quickly, but the thing about it was I quickly recognized where I was at. And I was able to, walk away from that situation, or as sometimes we say, I took the L on that situation. But the L was a lesson, not a loss. So it, being on this journey, man, there's a lot of joy in it, man, and enjoy it, man. Enjoy finding yourself. It's like they say in the Matrix when Neo said his eyes was hurting, and Morpheus said that's because you never used them. Come into this thing, get your eyes open, man. Start to see, that you are very important to yourself. You are the most important thing in your life is you, and everything else comes afterwards. So once again, I want to say peace to my hashtag MOTU brothers. Once again, my heartfelt sympathies go out to Dr. BOA. And I appreciate everybody that has watched my content thus far. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And I just want to, promote one guy, like try to promote a guy who, a channel that I've come across. And I want to promote this gentleman, brother named Warren Lance. Y'all go check that guy out, man. He got some real good content. So until the next time, brothers, stay on your purpose and peace.